This is the Third Wheel Theory, a podcast where two of us know what's going on and the other is just here for the ride. I'm Harper,
I'm Frank.
I'm Sam.
and this is our first ever episode, so round of applause. And this week, Frank and I are in charge of the topic, with Sam out of the loop. So, care to introduce the topic, Sam?
Of course, this is something I'm really, really passionate about, actually. So this week we're talking about a TV show called House MD, which ran, I believe, like 2010s, like early 2010s. No, it was before that. And here's why I know it was before that, because Jennifer Morrison left House MD in 2011 to do a little show called Once Upon a Time. I digress. This show is about a guy named Gregory House, and his little team of like, I think their like actual role is like diagnosing people. Like that's their whole shtick,
Correct.
like diagnosing, like we don't know what's wrong with this person, so call House. And he has some kind of like chronic pain. I don't remember exactly. It's from an injury or something, or just I don't remember what it's from. Chronic pain.
Oh,
He's addicted to pills. Don't remember what kind of pills, but it's connected to the chronic pain. Anyway, so he has his like little team, and some of them are Slay, some of them aren't Slay. One of them is Jennifer Morrison. And then his like gay best friend's name. Ooh, shit. Wilson. Don't remember his first name. James? Is it James?
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good at this. Okay. James Wilson, who is played by Robert Sean Leonard. Fun fact, my dyslexia told me that his name was Robert Sean Leonard for like years and years and years. And then when I heard his name like spoken out loud for the first time, I was shocked. Didn't know who that was. Um, is that
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank
That's
you.
okay?
beautiful. I think we can end the episode there.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think based off of what you just gave, clearly you know a lot about House, but you've never seen it.
I have seen House. Well, I
The whole
I
premise of this
watched
podcast is now fucked. Thank
I
you, Sam.
watched House up until Jennifer Morrison left, and then I watched the episodes where she came back, like she visited. I
Okay, so you like
never watched
basically
any of
haven't
that.
seen it.
I haven't seen most of it.
Okay,
You
yes.
yeah. Basically, House is Sherlock, but with more thinly veiled homoeroticism and a lot more bigotry.
Okay, so convince me of that. Like, give me evidence, give me textual evidence. Like, convince
I'm
me of
sorry,
that.
I'm like
So as Frank said, House is basically Sherlock, but uh, uh, I can't say more gay because Sherlock is quite gay. I don't know if that's what was the idea when it was written a million years ago. But it is
We're
gay.
getting dangerously into territory of stuff I know about.
Okay, we gotta make sure that you're stupid. This is supposed to be me and
We gotta
Frank
keep moving
making you feel
quickly.
bad about yourself.
I know, and you're bringing in fucking literature, which I
Okay,
have a degree in.
okay,
okay.
forget everything we've said so far. House is nothing like Sherlock. Um,
It,
the only thing in common it has is a British guy called Hugh Laurie, and
yeah.
And he's not even British in house.
he's not even British in House.
Oh my God. And you know what I learned about Hugh Laurie yesterday from Twitter?
That he rides
He has a
bikes.
fucking wig because he's bald.
He's
He
bald
wears
in like
wigs?
the final season of House. He's got a big ass bald patch, so they had to put a wig on him because it was just like
He's
those
bald and he's
months.
torturing people who have hair.
You know those
That's the
months.
plot of House, a bald
Yeah.
man torturing people who have hair.
Yes. That's why he's such an arrogant bitch.
It has nothing to do with
Wow.
the chronic pain and the addiction. It's just the bald
No, he
patch.
takes the Vicodin because he's bald.
So I watched House because of Jennifer Morrison, right? When I was
We
young.
established that.
Yes. I will bring her up at multiple points. I digress. I have not watched it since because I have crippling health anxiety. So, you guys should convince me why I should go back and revisit and try to rewatch House. Boom,
Okay.
convince me.
Okay.
Jennifer Morrison is in House. I've convinced you. Boom. Mind blowing.
Okay, argument one, very strong. Continue.
Um, you like little gay men.
To a point, to a point.
That's why we're
Um,
friends.
the
How many
problem,
words? How many words was your cat verse fiction fan fiction?
so I don't know what you're talking about, and I think I'm actually going to need a lawyer if we're going to discuss this further. But
So we'll start with season one of House. Uh, very orange. It's kind of how I would imagine if the whole world was inside of Donald Trump's spray tanning box.
orange as in
Everybody,
like the coloring.
everybody's orange.
Okay, so they all have like artificial spray tans. What's the like?
It's the coloring. So,
Okay,
and there is an orange guy in episode one because he's been drinking tomato juice and eating.
okay. So like in to translate into lesbian terms that I can understand, is it similar to how the first Twilight movie is blue, the first season of House is orange?
Translating into non-lesbian terms, I've never seen Twilight.
I also
So
think that Twilight being what you equate lesbianism to is very interesting because that is like every straight 12-year-old girl's favorite movie. Also, it's my dad's
Okay,
favorite
so
movie.
straight 12-year-old girls,
and
if
Harper's
you
dad.
checked in with them now, I guarantee you they are not straight anymore, darling. That's not.
I don't. What about all the middle-aged women? Isn't
What
Fifty
about all
Shades
the
of
middle
Grey
aged?
Twilight fan fiction?
It
It
is.
is, and 50 Shades of Grey is fucking great. Me and
I
my lesbian best friend just watched it the other night and we had a fucking blast.
That's controversial.
I don't think it is.
In sophomore year of high school, I was reading Fifty Shades of Grey in class, and my teacher confronted me and asked if I needed help.
That's very fair. Anyway, back to health.
Moving on.
Season one character rundown. Let's do a season one
Let's
character
do a
rundown
season
for
one
Sam.
character rundown.
Uh, House is the main character, evident by the fact that the TV show is called House. Mind blowing. He's addicted to Vicodin. You're aware he was addicted to something. He's addicted to Vicodin. He pops
Okay, I
them.
was on the right track.
You were on the right track. He pops them every episode. His best friend is the little gay boy, or as my aunt lovingly calls him, little gay cancer boy. That isn't a lie. That's genuinely what she calls him. um,
Wait, like, is he a cancer or does he have cancer?
he gets cancer in
That's
the
so
final episode.
sad.
So she
Do
calls
we
him,
know, do we know what his zodiac sign is?
I think the actor's a Pisces. I say that as if I'm not obsessed with the actor. About
February
James
28th. What is that?
Pisces.
Not a cancer.
That's Pisces.
Pisces. James Wilson
Wait,
of
question,
House.
Frank.
Yes,
Does she call him that because he treats cancer or because he gets it?
because he gets it.
Oh,
Um,
that's worse than I thought.
yeah. It's fine though, because lots of our family died of cancer, so it you can't be mad.
Yeah.
I think I'm more sad than mad.
Well,
That's just a bummer.
just all the ads, really.
Yeah.
Mad, sad, glad.
Sad.
I'm not sure I'm glad that he got cancer. But personally, that's not something I'm glad about. If that's something you're glad about, more power to you. I question your morals,
When
but
my
Does he
grand
have enemies who would be glad that he got cancer?
maybe all the wives he cheated on. Chronic
He's a
adulterer.
serial cheater.
He's a
Tell me more
serial
about that.
cheater.
Tell me more about that.
So he had three wives in 15 years by the time he was 40.
Wait, that's like my dad.
I'm gonna give you like a dad, like a certain amount of dad cards,
My dad's on his
and
third
like
wife.
you can
My
pull one
dad's
out
dead. Do you want
every.
to trade?
Uh, yeah.
My dad is like alive and great.
I love your dad, Sam. He's a great
My
man.
dad's great.
Wow,
I
it's
have a
really
great dad.
fortunate that you guys don't have their dads. I'm really happy for you. Moving back on to James Wilson, chronic cheater.
Mhm.
he his first wife, Sam Carr, like your name, but if your last name was Carr,
Yeah, it's not my last name.
they divorced in 1991 to 1992. It's really sad that I know this.
That
Uh,
is, yeah.
It's a little sad, but that's okay.
No, it's just we love you and we support you.
Yeah.
maybe don't patronize me. Um, his second wife was Bonnie. He cheated on her, mainly with House, as she said in a later episode.
Can I interject with a question?
Yes.
Um,
Yes,
when we talk about like House and Wilson, right, and their gayness and how people are gay, are we talking in canon or are we talking in non-canon?
non-canon.
Okay.
They don't ever touch dicks in the show, so
No, so actually the final unaired episode is a sword fight between between House and Wilson, but it's just their erect penises.
and House uses his cane as a third probing device. It's
Mm.
very kosher.
The first thing I ever saw Hugh Laurie in was Stuart Little.
Wow, Harper, that's so cool. Like, tell me more. I'm so interested in that.
Well, okay, a little bit off track.
Mhm.
I loved Stuart Little, and I used to like lay awake at night praying to God for a little mouse brother.
You, you're very special to
Thank
me, and I support you in your endeavors.
you. Okay, so now you're patronizing me.
I was told once that if I have nothing kind to say nothing at all.
Isn't that in the Bible?
How would I know what's in the Bible? How would I know what's in the Bible? Do I look like I know what the
Do
contents
I
of the
look like
Bible
I
are?
know the contents of the Bible?
Yes.
Yeah. You look like a little Victorian child skipping on down to church.
I don't know what to say to that.
If you have nothing kind to
Moving
say,
on.
nothing at all.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to start from this point. Season one character rundown for Sam's benefit. We have House, we have Wilson, we have Cuddy, we have Cameron, played by your.
That one, Cameron, Allison Cameron. I know her.
We have Chase, who I'm going to assume you hate because
I
he's with
hate
Cameron,
him. He sucks.
and we have Foreman.
Did you
I
say
think I remember
Cuddy?
liking him. I
Yes.
think I remember liking Foreman.
Foreman is, I think, the best character. I
I was
think
gonna say, I think I remember when I was watching that he was the only like actual human being, like competent human being.
He's I feel like he's the least enjoyable to watch, but he is the most like correct in his
I enjoy
everything.
watching him. Not in like a creepy way, but I enjoy watching him. He's like because there's a scene in season one, episode five, the Christmas episode, and I only noticed it recently. But there's this gay little montage with House and Wilson. Wilson decides not to spend Christmas with his wife. He's Jewish, so they don't celebrate, but he still decides to go and spend it with House. Um, and then there's this gay little montage with Silent Night playing in the background, and you see Foreman dressed as Santa on Christmas, giving presents to all of the sick kids in the hospital. And that, for me, solidifies why he is, I think, the only human in the whole place.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I tears. If I weren't on antidepressants, I'd be crying.
James Wilson's middle name is Evan. His name spells Jew, and he is Jewish. Moving on.
I'm gagged. I'm gagged. That's crazy. Is that like supposed to be a hate crime? Like,
I think the whole show's a hate crime, to be honest. Cuddy is the Lestrade of the universe. Except in this universe, they have sex. I don't think that happens in Sherlock. It might do. I don't know. She is very much no nonsense.
I will say in my limited experience, it always pissed me off because she was so clearly like just way better than him in every aspect of everything. And it always pissed me off that they were together and she kept like going back to him. And I was like, girl, what are we doing? Like, you can do so much better. But that's just my humble opinion.
I think there's such a push and pull with them and such a power imbalance. And House is an asshole. You know, he's misogynistic and he is offensive to her. He made a comment about, I think, in a later series where he said because she's infertile, he turned around to her and he said that it's a good thing that she couldn't have children because of something that had happened in the hospital. It was very uncomfortable. But there's this like opinion in the fandom that she can do no wrong and that everything is House's fault. And I mean, he's an asshole. But you have to remember that she is in charge of him. And there's this constant sort of back and forth whenever House is trying to treat a patient. She will remind him, she'll basically threaten his job because he can't get work anywhere else.
Like she uses her like power that she has over him in a way to like keep him in his place and keep him doing whatever she wants him to do, basically.
Yeah.
So like she's his boss and she does her job, is what I'm hearing.
She's like almost kind of dominatrix coded.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell y'all about my sexology class where we had a dominatrix come in on the last day and
Yes.
brought in all
Yes,
her whips and
you have.
we had to spank each other.
You have told me that story before, yes.
Isn't it
Yeah. I
great?
think you enjoyed that class a bit too much.
Well, who wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
I personally wouldn't.
Okay. Way to make me feel different.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, of course, anytime. Anytime you
Um,
feel slightly like comfortable or like this is a safe space, just let me know and I'll make sure I can like dispel that like
Perfect. Thank
yeah.
you.
Mhm. Of course.
Let's move on.
Cameron
I'm excited about this one.
pining after House for the first 3 seasons, still kind of pining after him while she was with Chase. Chase kind of
I
deserved it.
so I started watching House because Lin-Manuel Miranda was in it.
Well, that makes me sad.
I started watching it in 2019 when House and Cameron go on their date. There's monster trucks.
They go on a date.
And
They
I want to
oh,
talk about that.
apparently I don't remember anything about this show.
They go on a date, um, and mainly because she keeps asking, I think, and he says yes because he's House, and the House has a thing for monster trucks. He also takes Wilson to monster trucks a lot, so I think that might just be his move.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get
Can
monster
I?
trucks is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
So far from what I've heard and the like limited memory of what I have of the limited episodes I watched of this show. And this will be a good introduction of me to our audience, I think, is that I'm not necessarily a misandrist. However, I it takes a lot for me to um like a man. It takes a lot. And I think that if I were to rewatch this show as an adult, I think I would end up hating most of the men very deeply.
That's fair enough. They're all assholes.
They're all awful people, actually. As are most TV men.
That's very true.
Most as are most men.
That's also
Yeah,
very true.
yeah. But you would think that when you're writing a character, especially when women write male characters that are unlikable, like you know what people want to see, and yet you're giving nothing.
I mean, I think like the phenomenon you're describing of how, especially generations kind of in between us and boomers, so like X and millennial, a lot of the reasons why we see patterns of men in media being awful, being assholes, but like the lovable asshole. You know, that brand of men that we see so much in television.
Right. I mean, that
Um,
perfectly describes House.
yeah, is that it's kind of this phenomenon of how women are told to think about sex and desire in a way of it being aggressive, painful, um, like dominatrix kind of vibe of that like as it, like you know, ooh, a good example of this is like you know those romance novels that you go to a bookstore and there's like a whole wall of these like really thick, small romance, and there's a man with like abs out, and that kind of like dark romance.
Yeah.
And it always entails usually like an age gap or like mafia boss, you know, those kind of tropes that very much take like pain and aggressiveness and possession and turn them into something to be desired for. And so that putting that into like kind of like obviously not to that extreme because in like media that we're watching rather than reading, like the sex is turned down a lot. And so in these like this phenomenon of the like lovable asshole, it's like, oh, women are supposed to like love a man they can fix or a man that's like a little dark or they're going to be mean to you. They're going to be misogynistic to you, but we like that. You know, it's that kind of phenomenon.
I don't know that I agree. Not I agree with everything you're saying. I don't know that I agree that House is a lovable asshole. In the sense that a lot of fans don't like him in the way that you think they would. They're very much aware of how flawed he is and how much of a piece of shit he is. There and when you get to the relationship segment, season between House and Cuddy in season 7, it very much starts as abruptly as it ends. They get together, he fucks up once or twice, and she ends it, and then he runs his car into her house, and then she leaves the show.
He does
I
what?
He runs his car into her house, and
So he's not only an asshole, he's a fucking abuser.
yeah, I don't disagree. Um, but I think
Let me at this guy. What the hell?
I think the show did a very good job of showing that even though it was building up to that relationship, that it was never a relationship that was going to work, and it was never a relationship that was healthy. I think the thing about House is they never show him as somebody who's redeemable. He's very irredeemable. He has very few redeeming qualities. And I don't know that he necessarily fits into the category of that kind of man, because a lot of those books and those pieces of media, they try to write it in a way that allows for some redemption. And I don't know that House ever meets that criteria of being redeemable.
I think the only reason, and again, you obviously know the show better than I do, but I think the only reason that disagree with that is because the show is called House and he is the protagonist. And like just from like a narrative point of view, like your protagonist is at the end of the day your protagonist, and at the end of the day, the show is called House.
And I think that even though he sucks as a person, and I think if any of us knew House in real life, or if we know someone like House in real life, we're gonna despise his guts. But yeah, like watching him on television, I enjoy it, and I hate him, but I love him.
Mm.
And so yeah, I agree with what you said, Sam. And I also I see your point as well, Frank.
But I'm wrong, and that's fine too.
It's hard to be right when I'm in the room, I will say, just because at the end of the day, I am always right. So, hate to
Yeah.
break it to you.
Yeah, Frank, you'll get to the point where you get that. And
Yeah.
you'll just agree with everything Sam says, full stop.
Yeah.
Out of ease.
Yeah. And
Thanks for talking.
eventually it's just yeah, you have to.
Yeah, and then you have Chase, who is Australian and hates fat people. One of my he like berates a 10-year-old child who's obese. Um, in case you wanted more reasons to hate him aside from his relationship
Yeah.
with Cameron,
He also
that's a good
kissed
reason.
a child.
Uh, yeah,
That's very controversial though, and we can get into that later.
that is,
What do you mean
yeah.
it's controversial? What do you mean it's controversial?
Some people they think it's fine, and
Some
other
people say
people.
that it was okay.
What the fuck is
Let's
happening in
leave it
this?
at that. We'll leave it at that for now. Keep you wondering.
Okay, okay.
Uh, Fun fact: Jesse Spencer, who plays Chase, and Jennifer Morrison, as you know, plays
They were
Cameron.
engaged. They were engaged.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Sorry, I stole your fun fact. I'm so sorry.
Well, but they were engaged during the first few seasons of House being filmed.
So they were engaged during the first few seasons of how it being filmed, and then they broke up in real life. And then production got them to do a whole photo shoot for People magazine So obviously they break up at some point before the characters get engaged. And then production got them to do a whole photo shoot with People magazine where they were dressed up in wedding attire and they had to cut the cake and they had to do the walk down the aisle. And I'm not sure that I wouldn't punch somebody if I had to
I
do
would
that.
like to punch somebody on behalf of Jennifer Morrison. Like, somebody needs to die for that. I don't know who, but I'm after you.
David Shaw, he
Like, count your days. Count your
he's
days.
behind. Yeah, David Shaw needs to go for that. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, and then so of the last of like the OG group in the show is Foreman.
I think the most sensible one. A lot of eyebrow raises, which is I think his staple. I think it's the only facial expression that he's able to do. Is
Yeah.
the
Like if someone showed me a photo of just a goatee and eyebrows up, that's Foreman.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's scrutinized a lot in that show.
He is. He's scrutinized a lot. And then there's this consensus in the fandom that because House is racially insensitive towards him, that fans should be able to be racially insensitive towards him.
No, I'm
And
sorry. This guy's an abuser. He's racist. He's misogynistic. Like, can you like why would I ever watch this show? He sounds horrendous.
I think
Your wife is in it.
That's true, she is.
I don't I tried to say this without sounding like an asshole. House is very much equal opportunist. I don't not denying that he says these outlandishly homophobic and racist and misogynistic things, but I don't think he says them out of a place in which he genuinely hates people because of their race or their sexuality or their gender. I think he's just an asshole and he will,
He'll put down everyone.
yeah,
I
It's
don't
like
think that
it's
makes it
like
any better.
it's like South Park, how people defend South Park by saying it's not offensive because it's offending everyone.
I
yeah.
think that take is kind of stupid.
I agree, actually, wholeheartedly. So that's the main group. That's what you start the show off with.
Out of those people, I think I would only like three of them.
Who?
Cuddy,
Okay.
Cameron,
Yeah.
and Foreman.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have
Yeah.
guessed. I think Cuddy would intimidate me, but she's hot, so I think I'd also be turned on.
I think I just like someone who, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess
Puts men in their place.
kind of, but more so just like is like confident in their position
Right.
and will like get shit done. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
certainly. All right, let's move on to the later main additions of the team. Kuttner, Taub, who is obviously Frank's favorite, and 13.
Okay, so I don't know any of these people. We've
Why
gotten
is
very
Taub
good right
obviously my favorite? I'm
Because I see you tweet about him so often.
I, I I mean I love him, but I that
You
felt like
you defend him a lot.
because I so what if he cheats? He's a funny little guy.
Why is everybody cheating on their wives?
Uh we'll get
Yeah.
into him later. So Taub is short and he likes to cheat. 13 is bisexual and she's diagnosed with Huntington's disease. And Kuttner uh, is killed by Obama.
Obama's in House MD?
Frank, that's a crazy way to phrase that.
He's not in House MD technically. So Kuttner, played by Cal Penn, during his final season of House, Cal Penn got a job opportunity at the White House with the Obama administration.
Doing what?
I don't know, doing stuff in the White House.
I actually don't know either. I just know that yeah.
Whatever
Is
White
he
House people do.
qualified?
Yeah.
I don't see why he'd get a job at the White House if he wasn't qualified, so we'll go with yes. And
What business does an actor have in the White House? Well, I guess JFK was
Does he
there.
act anymore?
JFK, do you mean Ronald Reagan?
No, I mean JFK. Reagan was not an actor.
Reagan was an actor. JFK was not an actor.
Let me pull up my Google because you're literally just wrong and I'm literally just right. I guess they were both actors. That's crazy.
So you were both right and you were both wrong.
I was not wrong.
I swear, I'm Googling it now. I swear JFK was not an actor.
Look at his face. Of course he was an
Uh,
actor.
He was gorgeous until he wasn't.
Too soon.
That
Too,
was literally.
too soon. Too soon.
there's
You're
You know,
from
literally
Texas.
nothing online to
You
say
are
that
from
he's an
Texas. You're
actor.
not allowed to make JFK
I was gonna
jokes.
say, do you know in Dallas they have an X on the spot where he was killed? It's in the middle of the road. You can just go stand on the
So funny.
spot where he was assassinated.
That's really funny.
When I went to Comic-Con dressed up as Thomas Thorne, I was walking to Olive Garden as Thomas, and I saw the spot, and I went and stood on it.
Anyway, so Cal Penn went to work in the White House, and because he left the show, they decided that Kuttner was going to kill himself. So Kuttner kills himself, and that's
That is what the showrunners have to say about politics.
You got me like clutching my pearls. I'm like, this is crazy.
Literally.
I'm clutching my pearls.
literally clutching their pearls, but they're not.
How many seasons did House run?
8.
From when to when? Like years?
2005 to 2012.
Wow, that was earlier than I thought it was. I don't know why.
Because I tweet about it a lot, so you think that it's
Also,
up and coming.
the fandom is so lively.
Yeah.
Which I find strange.
I also
Why?
find strange.
You're stepping on my territory here a bit. Why do you find it strange?
I think I find it strange because it's not like I don't doubt that it's still good. Because I remember it being good, like of what I watched. Like I remember it being just good television, right? Like good writing, like at least up until I watched it. But I don't think it's necessarily timeless. I don't think it's necessarily like I don't think it's aged well.
I think
Oh,
that
Especially
it absolutely hasn't aged well.
there are many things that have not aged well that are still massive.
actually, maybe now that I say it too, that actually maybe does make sense because since, like, as a society, we are swinging way more conservative nowadays. Maybe it
I,
is like
I
more
mean,
acceptable.
Frank, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that a majority of House fans that are currently watching it are probably progressive.
uh, Most house fans are gay or trans, so I think
Hmm.
And I think that's the case for a lot of old things that because think like the League of Gentlemen is quite controversial in many ways, but if you look at most current League of Gentlemen fans, most of them are queer. I don't know what it
yeah,
is. We could have a whole episode talking about that.
we could.
So maybe it's because House is so far out there that people who have been like ostracized their whole life and looked down on feel um less so.
I think it's also a very accurate depiction of disability and chronic pain and addiction that you very rarely get with TV shows these days. A lot of TV shows now very much brush over it. You have this arc of, oh, this character has an addiction. Oh, they went to rehab and everything's okay. Oh, this character's in chronic pain. Oh, they found something that works and everything's okay. It's very much doesn't sugarcoat the realities of chronic pain and disability and addiction. And I think that that resonates a lot with young people because we very much live in a time that likes to sweep anything that isn't appealing to the masses under the rug.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
That's as smart as I'm getting today. So let's move on.
Let's move on to homoeroticism. Um, a lot of homoeroticism from everyone, all the time in the real world as well, but House especially. So, I think that we should dive into the different layers of homoeroticism in the show. And I guess we can do that by starting off with the only um canonly queer person in the show, which is 13.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
is her name 13?
Her name's Remy Hadley, but
Okay.
in season 4, they all had numbers on. He had like a big class for the people he was replacing. the original team with, and her number was 13, and it kind of stuck through
Okay,
the show.
good to know.
I didn't actually know what her real name was because they never use it.
I'm just really sad.
No, it's okay. This will be me when we're doing Britcom. Okay. 13 is played by Olivia Wilde. Sam, do you have any opinions on Olivia Wilde?
Olivia Wilde is in House MD?
Yes. And she's queer.
Holy shit.
Do you feel positively about her? I can't genuinely
I
can't
do
tell.
not feel positively
Oh,
about Olivia Wilde. Thank you for asking. Not only do I think that she's annoying and untalented, but I also believe that she is not even believe, she is point blank to blame for the worst Harry Styles song that he has ever written.
which
It's
is
such a bad song. It's called Cinema, and he wrote it about her. And it's just a horrendous, it's such a bad song. And I love Harry Styles. I love his music. That's such a bad song. Sorry.
okay. I'm really glad that we cleared the air on this because I've been thinking all year what your opinion on Olivia Wilde was, actually.
What do you mean you've been thinking all year about what my opinion was on her?
I was trying to make a joke and it wasn't good.
Oh, okay.
I figured that you didn't like her because I know you love Harry.
Yeah, but I didn't like, I don't not like her because, I mean, that situation I think was like weird, and you're right, it did not help my, like, it didn't aid my view of her, but I remember not liking her from before the whole Harry Styles, like, Don't Worry, Darling situation. Um,
Yeah.
but it did put the nail in the coffin, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
he spit on Chris Pine? Yes or no?
He did spit on Chris Pine. He did spit on
Did
Chris
he
Pine.
actually? Because I saw a thing
Yes.
debunking that.
No, there's no way. I have watched that video over and over and over, and I swear that man spit on Chris Pine.
I don't,
That
I,
man spit
I
on
don't,
Chris
but
Pine.
okay. What reason? I don't care about Chris Pine. He probably
Mm.
is spitting on worthy.
Oh,
Mm.
I like Chris Pine.
I like Chris Pine.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
13 is bisexual. So representation, I guess.
I think they did a pretty good job for the time of showing a bisexual character.
I would
It's very
agree. Yeah.
it's a lot like you'd expect it to be a character that was written now as opposed to nearly 20 years ago.
I don't mean to say this to poke a sleeping bear. Um, but this is just a genuine question
Hmm.
because I have I just this is where my brain goes, right?
Hmm.
Is there something to be said that the only canonically queer character in the show is a woman and that she's bisexual?
Absolutely. Because I think
Okay.
that was, I mean, not to, start throwing out words, but, you know, the the amount of people that fetishize queer women, but also want queer women that would still date a man. Queer
Yeah.
women
That
when
yeah.
it benefits men.
That like yes, and also like bisexuality being like a digestible like
Yes.
form of queerness
Like
for like a
you
straight
can
audience.
go fuck a woman, let me watch, and then you're gonna marry a man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I will say she does end up with a woman at the end of the show.
Yes,
That's good to
it is
know.
and it is good
That's
representation, but I think you do have a point, Sam, with the fact
Yeah,
that
no.
I don't think that people would have reacted as well if it were any other sort of queerness.
If it were, yeah.
Yeah, so she dated four men for a while. Not a while. How long was it?
About a season and a half.
Yeah, I guess four house, that's quite a while actually.
Yeah.
Um, and then they ended it. She hooks up with a bunch of women, as you do. And then she leaves and she is with a woman called Amy.
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 Amy. We don't. I think this kind of lends into your point, Sam. We don't actually necessarily meet any of the women that
Mm.
13 dates. There is one episode where she's with a woman that she does end up falling for who becomes a patient of House. But aside from that, the main focus was very much on her relationship with Foreman and then her hookups with multiple people.
Moving on to other homoerotic um moments, ideas, things. We can talk about Hilson.
Right, this is a quote
One
from
yawned. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wilson's second wife, Bonnie. You knew he, and this is directed to House. You knew he had a wife waiting at home. You didn't care. I'm not saying you broke up the marriage, but you didn't help. I mean,
Yeah.
and then in the context of knowing he cheated on at least one of his three wives, and the most likely because he ends up getting back with Sam, and we know that Julie, his last wife, cheated on him. Um, the context of it potentially being Bonnie with that quote in the mix lends to some very fun theories about who Wilson cheated with, and was it House?
Frank, do you want to read your Robert Sean Leonard quote?
Ugh,
It
is
is
everybody obsessed with homosexuality?
Okay, wait. He might have eaten with that one because something I was talking about with a friend of mine like a few weeks ago is we were talking about fetishization, Jesus Christ,
Fetishization.
fetishization.
that word of men loving men relationships, especially among like women and like born female at birth like people, right? And in media and like how what we see in media is, and this has been forever and always and continuing, right? Is there's a lot, not a lot, but of queer representation, like canon queer representation, it's usually men. It's usually two men in a relationship versus like, more sapphic relationship represented. If they are, they're usually background characters or like side characters or something like that. And that also works with like these popular gay ships that are not canon. So, Captain Spock and Captain Kirk and like Han and Luke, right? Like all like from the beginning of media, we have these like men being fetishized in these like gay relationships. Um, and I don't know what his intent with that quote was, but I wonder if it was something like that of like kind of this obsession with just the
I,
fetishization of gay men.
I can tell you what his intent with that quote was. So the interviewer asked him about but asked both him and Hugh Laurie what they thought of the bromance between House and Wilson. And he went on a very long rant about the term bromance. So he describes the word bromance as being a kind of a cheap shot that is also insulting to gay people. Um, why is it that you go with that? And even if you do go with that, is it to be funny or is it to be coy or is it to be, to me, it's like saying about a gay couple, oh, they seem so straight. Well, what's the point of that? I think it would offend the gay couple to hear that. So, anyway, I find it odd when people use sexuality in that way. I don't know what it means. I just find it odd. Essentially, what he's saying is he said that he does see it as a love story of sorts, but he doesn't understand essentially why people sort of feel the need to label it as platonic or otherwise. That love stories don't always have to be about physicality. They also don't always have to be platonic. And then another quote that I love from him is such a spectrum, that word love. And it can mean anything. And I think that's what that quote is him saying. I don't think he hates gay people, contrary to what I post online. um, but yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was a
like that. I like that a lot.
good,
Yeah.
I think Wilson's worse than House. Controversial.
very controversial.
I think the thing about House is that he is cruel, he is vindictive, he is manipulative, but he doesn't deny that he's all of these things. I think the thing about Wilson is that he can be cruel, he can be vindictive, he can be manipulative, whilst he also believes that he's morally superior to House because he treats his patients with empathy, whereas House is very much like just the way that he is all the time. Um, An example of this, if you'll bear with me, there is a point in season 6 where Cuddy is with a guy called Lucas, and she has her daughter, Rachel, and they're looking to move in together. And she goes to Wilson because they're friends, and she tells him about this really wonderful apartment that she's really excited to move into. And Wilson's response to doing this is to go to his ex-wife, who is a real estate agent, to buy the apartment out from under Cuddy's feet, so he and House can move into it.
Why would he do that? They were friends.
Because Cuddy broke House's heart. That was his justification. Then he allows House to take the blame for this.
And wait, I'm sorry, driving his car into her house wasn't punishment enough?
That comes later. That comes towards the end of Cuddy's arc. This is before that, to be fair. But then there's he allows House to take the blame for this, which is when I mentioned earlier that Cuddy put all of the out of order signs on the elevators. So House having to go through more pain was as a result of Wilson's actions that he doesn't take responsibility for. And then there's this constant thing within the show where Wilson's constantly ending his friendship with House, knowing that House is always going to come back and that he kind of has the upper hand in that friendship. And as much as I love Wilson, I think that Wilson is a lot worse than House, because at least House is honest about being a complete piece of shit.
Would you almost describe him as a lovable asshole?
I just describe him as an
callback,
asshole.
Sam.
Thank you. Thank you.
I describe him as an asshole that I low key, yeah.
That you low-key, yeah.
That I low
That
key,
you
yeah.
low-key.
That I low key, yeah. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's how I feel about Jeff Tips from the League of Gentlemen.
Crazy name.
Final thing about Wilson, we should have just made this a Wilson episode. I would have been in my element. Wilson is also a chronic people pleaser and ends up resenting all of his wives, which is then what turns to him either cheating on them or them either cheating on him. And we haven't really talked about Amber, who came in season 4, but she was
Crazy woman.
I love Amber. Amber's absolutely one of my favorite characters in the entire show. She's the thing is, people hate her, but she's
I
House.
hate her.
She's House as a woman.
Well,
Everybody
I
loves
hate women.
everybody adores House.
We know, Harper. We know.
Everybody adores House, but she implements the exact same tactics as him. She's manipulative. She's vindictive, so that she can get ahead, the same way the House does with his patients, so that he can get them the treatment that they need. I mean, there are other ways he could do it, but he's House.
Yeah.
But people hate her for it. But at the same time, they adore House for it. And I do kind of think it's a little bit misogynistic.
I love this. I love having another little feminist on here. It makes me happy.
Am I not a feminist?
Well, you hate Amber, so.
And you
I
hate
do.
women, so.
I hate Amber solely because of the stupid plot with the stupid Amber necklace.
Okay, so you don't hate Amber, you hate David Shaw for writing a shitty
Yes.
plot line.
Yes.
You two need to come up with a character, your own character in the House MD universe. Come up with a name for the character and what your profession in the hospital is, and we will start.
Okay. My character is named Paul, and Paul is a gastroenterologist.
Okay. Sam.
Okay, so her name is Carrie, and she is a human resource officer because it sounds like this hospital needs one.
I mean, the game kind of relies on you being a doctor, so can you moonlight as a human resource?
Fine, I'll put Carrie away and I'll bring out Jazz. And
Okay.
That's
Jazz
a stripper's
is,
name.
next time you ask if you're a feminist, I'm gonna just start pulling up quotes of things that you have said.
Am I a feminist? I hate Amber
So
because of a necklace,
Jazz.
and Jazz is a stripper name.
Jazz. So her name is Jazz,
Her name's
and
Jazz.
she is a gynecologist.
So the
Perfect.
stripper of the body.
I need you to actually take yourself out. Pack it up. Pack it up. You're done.
Okay, let's continue.
Your first day at Princeton Plainsboro Teaching Hospital. You arrive in your on your bike because you're very eco-friendly. You're very woke, and everybody's going to hate you for it. Upon arrival, you head straight to Cuddy's office, aware that without her, House will probably inject you with some morphine and throw you off of the roof. As you reach her door, you hear House's sardonic tone. I was fine with the team that I had. What do you do? Do you A, enter, or do you B, go in?
So those are the same
House.
Wait, those
things.
are the same things, Frank.
Oh, what do you do? Do you A, enter, or do you B, wait? I'm so sorry.
Jazz is waiting.
Paul's going to enter to assert his dominance.
Okay, so Paul enters. Stupid choice. Cuddy and House are flirting. As Cuddy calls you to enter, House scowls at you, sizing you up from head to toe. There's a reason I didn't become a babysitter. You try to respond, Paul, which House mocks before leaving. Cuddy offers you a reassuring smile, because she's not an asshole. Now, this is nothing changes for this bit. Jazz, you just decided to avoid the flirting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
With House gone, Cuddy tells you to take a seat. She motions to the chair opposite her. She begins taking you through the motions of working with House. Though she has every faith in you to be a good fit, she has none in House. Do you think you can handle it? A, I think I can handle it. B, no.
B, no.
Paul can handle it.
Let's go with Jazz first. Jazz, you couldn't handle it, and you jumped out of her window, running for the hills, or whatever is actually in New Jersey. You get hit by a car, transported back to the hospital, and treated by Chase. Chase thinks you're a dictator, so he kills you. You're dead.
Wait. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. But bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Because I'm sorry.
There's there's
Did
a,
you just
there's
hit
a
a
plot line. Chase
car?
kills.
Did you just hit a woman with your car?
I didn't do it. I can't drive. It's just a random New Jersey, but maybe it's Robert Sean Leonard. He lives in New Jersey.
It's my
He
it's my roommate. She's from New Jersey.
I
there
think
you
it
go.
was actually probably Harper. Harper hit a woman with their car.
I've never been to New Jersey except once to go to Texas Roadhouse.
And listen, I was in that Texas Roadhouse parking
You went
lot.
all the way.
I
You went
walked.
all the way to New Jersey to go to a restaurant.
Yes. It's
Uh,
easy to get to. I took the bus.
There are places in New Jersey that are closer to you than other places in New York.
Yes. It was quicker to get to
Jazz.
Texas Roadhouse than it is to get to my brother's apartment.
I'm
Everything's
gonna,
closer to get to your brother's apartment.
Okay, what happens to
I'm
Paul?
gonna say you have 3 lives each. So Sam, Jazz, I apologize. You've got 2 more lives. Don't
Okay.
worry. Chase is an idiot.
Hmm.
He didn't kill you properly.
Okay.
Paul, Cuddy leads you up to House's office where you become acquainted with his current team, Foreman, Taub, Kuttner, and 13. Here's your first case, a fitness guru known for her natural lifestyle collapse while shooting an infomercial. Time for a differential. Taub thinks how do I pronounce this word?
How do you spell it?
Taub thinks anabolic steroids. Let's go with that.
Anabolic.
Yeah, that one. But Kuttner, ever the optimist, believes the all natural shtick and that you should be looking for an underlying condition. Asthma, perhaps. The patient tested negative for steroids, thus meaning Taub is a moron. House orders a stress test, but the patient has a broken ankle. Do you do the stress test or do you not do the stress test?
Paul is going to push forward with the stress test.
Jazz.
I thought I was dead.
I said you had 3 lives.
Oh, I didn't want to work with House, but okay. Um, I am going to, I'll do the stress test too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go with Taub and Kuttner to run the stress test. All of a sudden, the patient's face turns red and she collapses without a pulse. Taub rules out asthma in an attempt to redeem his previous idiocy. Because it's not asthma, House orders you to test for a tumor. You find out the patient had previously undergone a gastric bypass surgery. Everybody lies, House yells from the rooftop in glee. Eventually, the patient is diagnosed with hereditary choroporphyria. I'm not explaining what that is. You should know what that is. Quite frankly, I don't need to explain myself.
I'm a
So,
gynecologist. How would I know that?
Talb's a plastic surgeon. On your way to treat the patient, you bump into a doe-eyed, sad-looking man. Wilson introduces himself, telling you about how he's been divorced 3 times and how his most recent partner, Amber, died in a horrible bus accident. He's a bit of an oversharer. Following a successful diagnosis, you've been invited to the bar by multiple people. Way to be popular and likable, you dumbass. But who do you go with? Do you go with Talb and Cutner? Do you go with Foreman and Chase? Do you go with Wilson? Or do you go home?
I'm going home.
I'm gonna go with Wilson.
Okay, Paul is going with Wilson. You enter the bar with Wilson. You tell him something sad about your life. Give us something sad about Paul's life.
Well, Paul recently found out that he has that disease where your hands, the palms of your hands and your feet grow calluses, so he has to shave them with a grater.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
You should raise awareness. Not in this podcast, but in another podcast, maybe. Wilson takes it as a sign that you need saving and that he is the one to do it. He clonks you over the head with a brick and takes you to Vegas to get married by Elvis. Either the right or wrong choice, depending on your feelings towards Wilson.
So Paul and Wilson are married.
They are married by an Elvis impersonator.
You know, Elvis Presley asked my grandmother out on a date.
What the fuck? That's insane.
Eh.
Was this before or after he got?
I think it was like right before he got famous.
Oh, I meant like right before he, shat on the toilet and died. But
Oh,
yeah.
he was
Before
not
or
dead.
after he died?
He was not dead yet.
I sure hope it was before he died.
My grandma goes to his grave every day
The
and
ghost of Elvis Presley
kisses
asked
him.
my grandmother on a date.
Jazz went home. It was a long day, and you chose to go home to get some rest. This was the correct choice, and despite being hit by a car and killed by Chase, you survived your first day on House's team.
Aw,
Good job.
thank you.
Paul and Jazz. Jazz, you have 2 lives. Paul, you have 2 lives because you married Wilson in Vegas.
What?
Marrying a man is embarrassing. That should
By
be
an
the
Elvis
lifelong.
impersonator, a chronic cheater who's been married 3 times before.
Well, now
it's
he's
sad.
marrying a man, so it should be better.
It reeks of desperation, Paul. I don't know what to tell you. You're a year into working for House, and now you hate everything. Cutner is dead, House is hallucinating, and Wilson is still gay. Time to get to work. You arrive at the hospital early because you have no life. It could pay to be here before the rest of the team, but it could also pay to drink some coffee to be alert. What do? Do you go straight to work, or do you drink coffee? Jazz.
Oh, coffee. Coffee, 100% coffee all the time.
Paul.
Straight to work. Paul does not drink coffee.
Eager to keep your head, okay, Paul, eager to keep your head up House's ass, you go straight to his office. As you enter, the door clicks shut behind you, the room dark. Then, I can't do an Australian accent. I'm his only golden child. In a jealous blonde rage, Chase shoots you in the butt with a gun he got from Walmart. R.I.P. You only have 1 life left.
What the fuck? My Paul got a fat ass. He can survive that.
Well, you've only got 1 life left, Paul. I don't know what to tell you.
Only one
You
life
should be
left,
wary
Paul.
of blonde Australians. Jazz, still with 2 lives. You arrive at the hospital cafeteria. As you wait in line, a sickly-looking man queues behind you. I don't know what's wrong with me, he whispers before collapsing. This could be rare. Time to exploit it for personal gain and take him to House with your wheelbarrow. You carry a wheelbarrow around. I thought that was clear for most hospital personnel. Differential time. You're sat with Taub, chatting adultery, as Foreman and 13 enter, having gone to get the man's history. He has a swollen testicle. I checked it myself, Foreman exclaims. House smirks, thinking of his own swollen testicle with pride.
I don't like this anymore. This game is no longer fun.
Matthew Bainton at the Edinburgh Fringe.
You learn that the patient has a history of acid reflux, headaches, and divorce. Hearing divorce and assuming Wilson, House hits the table in anger. House suggests an STD, whilst Foreman suggests something neurological because he's a neurologist. Who do you side with? Do you side with Foreman or do you side with House? Jazz.
Probably Foreman.
Paul.
House.
Jazz. Foreman raises an eyebrow in approval. As you walk side by side down the hospital corridor,
Oh
you
God.
hear the unmistakable. As you walk side by side down the hospital corridor, you hear the unmistakable thumping of a running Australian. Chase
Is he about to kill me again?
Chase rugby tackles you through a window. Get your own bold friend. The glass smashes, stabbing you in the heart. R.I.P.
Oh,
The good news is you both only have one life left.
so I could still win.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Okay.
be wise with your choices. Okay, Paul,
I'm
you
always
chose to
wise.
go with House. You go to treat the suspected STD with antibiotics. Assuming the case is over, you lay on the floor for a nap. House hits you over the head with his cane to wake you up. The patient is vomiting blood. That's not good, Chase says, stupidly like a stupid pretty idiot. Differential times two. After discussing multiple theories, House orders you to break into the patient's home. What do you do? Do you break in? Or do you, no, not for me. I'm a good boy or girl or they, them. Paul,
Paul is going to break in.
Jazz.
Um, Jazz is not going to break in.
Oh, Jazz. Oh, poor Jazz.
Frank.
You tell you t- you tell House it goes against your morals to break the law. He tells you it doesn't go against his to break your bones. House pulls out a mallet, smashing you over the knees with it. In a show of remorse, House pops you a Vicodin into your mouth. Except it's cyanide. Jazz, you are dead.
That doesn't make sense because how would a balding old man like be able like I would just like like I'm sorry, what does he have on me? What does he have on Jazz? Nothing. I don't believe
Um,
that. I don't believe that he could take Jazz.
I don't know what to tell you. Jazz is dead. I can't hear you.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh,
I have nothing kind to say.
okay, Paul, you're still alive. You still have a shot at this.
Oh, let's
Upon
go.
arrival, upon arrival into the patient's home, you find a shrine to David Hasselhoff. Surrounding the photos and candles are tributes of unpasteurized cheese and antacids. You say a prayer to Hasselhoff before heading back to the office. House diagnoses the patient with a word that I can't pronounce. Something that would have been killed had the patient not been popping antacids in tribute to Baywatch. Diagnosis is too late and the patient goes into cardiac arrest. He needs a heart transplant. Do you A, give him your own heart, or B, check the ER?
I guess I'll check the ER.
It's a good choice, Paul. Lucky for the patient, a mother of four who did charity work her whole life and supported Jesus was in a horrific car accident. Chase, in a bid to get noticed by House, harvests the heart himself. The heart takes and the patient lives. Foreman does a dab. Okay, today was a long day, Paul, but for now, work is over. As you leave, you see Wilson and Taub on one side of reception, with 13 and Foreman on the other side. You were also invited out by Chase. I'd like to remind you he's tried to kill you multiple times.
Yes.
Who do you want to spend the night with? Do you want to spend it with Wilson and Taub, 13 and Foreman, Chase, or the secret fourth option?
I have to go secret fourth option.
You secretly go to the bar with House, sharing a Vicodin and a whiskey. I have a I have to tell you a secret, House whispers. He pulls out your family tree, pointing to the sticker covering the father you never knew. He pulls the sticker back. House is actually your dad.
Oh.
You head home, bewildered by the reveal that Gregory House is your father, having searched your whole life for the man who impregnated your mother. This is the canon ending, and canonically, your father is House. Better go break the news to your father, sat on his sofa, preaching. I'm deadly serious. The
That
end.
is too realistic, I fear.
Uh,
Um, I
Sam
live.
looks more. Sam looks mortified. I mean,
I don't think I
heartbroken
liked that game.
because you died. I think.
I don't like not winning.
Sore loser.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. I think you died, and I think.
I think somehow it's rigged. Somehow this is misogyny. Um,
um, would it make you like me more if I told you that House actually wrote it and it is misogynistic, but it's not my fault?
maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
So what's the topic for next week? Well, you'll have to tune in and find out. And if you could tell us what's going on, that would be really helpful. If you want to keep up with our nonsensical rambles, follow us on Instagram at Third Wheel Theory or follow us on Twitter at Three Wheel Theory with the number three.
I really am a lot smarter than I sounded this episode. And I do genuinely like House, but I get very nervous around gay people, and I'm recording this with two gay people. Three
I
gay
don't
people.
see any gay
There's
people.
no gay people here.
There's literally no gay people here, Frank.
Am I not gay?
Why do you think that we're
I was under the impression I was gay. Am I not gay?
gay?
I'm genuinely asking. I can't remember.
Gay people are aren't real.
Now you're gonna put me into an existential crisis. Am I not
We're
gay?
all gay.
Oh, okay. That's all I have to say then.
Bye, listeners. Everyone wave.
They can't see us waving.
I know, but they can hear it. They can hear my rings.
They can't hear me.
No one can hear your rings.